Hello everyone. Today we're going to do this gingham pattern, and I did a small version because it's a dishcloth, and then I did it with the larger stitch. I haven't worked in my ends yet, but I liked the smaller version better on the dishcloth. This would be better for like a blanket, in my opinion. So I also did another one, but I didn't have a white in the same type of yarn, so I did it in 3 shades of purple out of regular yarn and not cotton, and I still think it looks pretty cool. And this is using the bigger size, but that just gives you an idea of if you were working with a bigger piece, how much better this using the larger box looks than on a bigger piece like this than it would on a smaller piece like this one. I don't know what just fell, but we'll find it later. Anywho, what you will need, of course, depending on what you're making, if you do a dishcloth, you want to use cotton yarn. And you need 3 shades. You need a dark, a medium, and a light, or light should ideally be white. Of course, your crochet hook. I'm using Hobby Rainbow 100% cotton yarn, and it calls for a 3 to 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, but I'm going to use a 4.5 just because that's how I am. I like to use a slightly larger hook. So to get started, if you're going to do the small, like for a dishcloth, you're going to chain in multiples of 4. And if you want both sides to end in the same color, which I think looks better, like this, then you need an odd number of multiples of 4, like 5 sets of 4 or 7 sets of 4. If you're going to do the large version, it's done in 6s. So, same thing. If you want it to end like in different, or the same, instead of different like this one is, where I have dark purple and light purple, and then light purple and white, you want to do it in odd. So for this demonstration, I'm going to do 5 sets of 4 plus 3 for my turning chain. And you start with your darkest color. You're going to, of course, do a slip knot and then chain in multiples of 4. So I'm going to do 20. 5 times 4 is 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then plus 3 for my turning chain. And then we are going to do 3 double crochets starting in the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, and 3, but we're not going to complete that. That gives us 4 because our turning chain counted as a stitch. We're not going to complete that stitch. We're going to bring in our medium shade. Okay, to complete that stitch, because we're going to change colors here. So we're going to do 4 double crochets of this one. But not with that piece. Okay, so 1, snug it up a little bit. And I'm crocheting over top of this end piece and my dark color so that I can carry my yarn across. 2. 3. And 4, we don't complete that 4th stitch. We're going to pull our working yarn forward. We're going to pick up our darker color to complete that 4th double crochet. And do 4 of these, working over top of the tail still and our lighter color working yarn. I don't know about you guys, but the first row is always the toughest for me. I don't know why. It's just like flimsy, it's hard to hang on to. Anywho, alright, so there's 4. We don't complete the 4th one. Bring that forward. Bring up our lighter color or medium color. Tighten that down a little bit. And we do 4 of these. So you're just rotating all the way across to the end of the row, doing 4 double crochets, and on the 4th one, before finalizing the stitch, you switch colors. Two. 3. Oops. 4. We don't complete the 4th one. Now, if you were doing the larger square or box, however you want to call it, you would do 6 double crochets because you would have chained in multiples of 6. All right, so 4 more of these. Okay, so I have an extra chain, so I must have counted wrong. 1 extra stitch there. But I think I counted wrong on my chain. All right, so we're just going to leave that hang because we can cut this and tighten that up and it won't be a big deal. All right, so I should have 5. 12, 16. I definitely didn't count wrong, or count right. All right. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now that's right. I missed one. I'm like, Anyhow, so we want to turn our work. And we're still staying with the dark purple because we're going to do 2 rows. So I'm going to like move my light purple up a little bit so that it's not such a big carry when we get to it again. Okay, so now I'm only going to chain 2 instead of 3. And I'm working over top of that purple. and we should get 3 double crochets. That first chain 2 counted as 1. And we do not finalize that last one. We're going to pull our dark forward, bring up our light color to complete that stitch, give it a little pull to tighten it down a little bit, not super tight, just snug it up a little, and then 4 doubles, working with our medium shade here, working over top of our darker color so that we can carry it over. We do not complete the 4th stitch. We go halfway, bring our working yarn forward, pull up our dark purple and complete the stitch. Give it a little pull to tighten it down. It's just snugging it up. And then 4 of the dark purple. Oops, we don't finalize that. Pull that forward, bring up our light color, snug it down a little. 4 of these. Don't finish it, pull it forward, bring up your darker color, complete that stitch, give it a little snuggy pull, and we're going to do 4 of the dark purple, or whatever dark color you decided to use. All right, so when we get our turning chain, we're going to put it in that top stitch of the turning chain because that did count as a double. Okay, so once we have completed row 2, now our light purple is going to come up above the dark purple, and our white is going to come up above the light purple. So you can cut this or not. I'm going to cut it off, leaving a long enough tail for me to work in, just so that I don't have so many strings hanging around. So we're going to bring up our light purple to complete that last stitch, snug it up, chain 2, whoops, turn, we're going to do 3 doubles. We're not going to complete the 3rd one. We're going to bring in our white. Okay, we're going to do 4 doubles on the white. We're going to work over top of our tail and our medium shade or light purple. We do not complete the stitch. We bring up the light purple and we do 4 double crochets of the light purple, working over top of our white working yarn and the tail. We do not complete the 4th stitch. We pull that forward. We bring up our white to complete that stitch for our color change, and we go 4 double crochets of the white. Don't complete the last one. Pull up our light purple, give it a little snuggie. Excuse me. We have 4 double crochets of this color. And the last one is going to go in our chain 2 that we did to come up to this one. We just put it in that top stitch. Okay, we're going to inch our white up with us. Okay, chain 2, turn our work. We're going to work over top of that white because we're still doing those rows, because each one gets 2 rows before we have to change colors again. You know, back to our dark color. So that's 2. Don't complete the 4th one. Switch over to the white. Do 4 whites. And you have a tendency to get tangled every now and then, so, you know, because you're switching over colors a lot. So, oops, going the wrong way. Unwrap my yarn here. Make it a little easier to pull on. All right, so that 4th stitch, we do not complete the top. Bring up our purple, our light purple. Do 4 of these. Don't complete that 4th stitch, pull it forward, bring up to your white, snug it down just a little, do 4 whites, and then our 4 light purples. The 4th one goes in our chain 2. Okay, we don't complete that one because we need to switch back to the darker purple. But for the moment, we're finished with the white, so we're going to cut the tail and just let it hang for a little bit. And we're going to bring back our dark purple. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could run these up, but that's kind of a, in my opinion, kind of a big jump. And then you're dealing with 3 yarns potentially getting tangled. So I just cut it and work my tails in. Okay, so we want our dark purple to finish off that stitch. Give it a little snuggie. I'm going to carry that light purple up because we got to run it across with us, and then do chain 2, turn our work over top of the light purple. That's 1, 2, and then the 4th stitch is the light purple. We're switching over to that. We do 4, they're back. They went to the grocery store. That was a quick trip. Okay, switch. And I think you get the idea now. 2 rows, 4 stitches, each color. Then switch, they alternate. The only one you're ever going to have to cut is your medium shade. If you're doing the larger one, 6 stitches, 3 rows before you rotate around. And that'll do it. That gives you your nice little gingham pattern. And that's all I have for you today. I thank you so much for watching.